Hello, my lovely soul, and welcome to Unstoppable Confidence. I am your host, Lauren Glick. I am here to bring you my energy, my motivational speaking, and me being a confidence mentor. My mission is to inspire women to own who they are, step into their higher selves fearlessly, and live a life with unstoppable joy. On this show, we are going to cover everything from aligning your life to your higher self, setting boundaries, self-growth, and living a purpose-driven life. Let's get you living a meaningful life you cannot wait to wake up to. Stop driving and start living with ease and abundance. Cheers to living a magical life. And I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. Now, let's head into today's episode. Hello, my lovely, and welcome back to Unstoppable Confidence, where I bring you all the confidence keys and tools that you can use throughout entrepreneurship. And you know me, and I am here to help you along the way of my journey of finding my way through all the craziness as well. It's not one of those podcasts that are like, hey, I have all the answers. It's like, hey, let me bring on other people. We'll talk about their stories. We'll talk about my stories. My gosh, as you know, I started a franchise. Stretch Lab, woo woo, what's up? I have a huge team going. So solid, and it feels so good now. So as you could tell, I am definitely on an up right now. It's just where you put your focus in on a business is that piece of the business that's going to grow. Before I started bringing on my team, which was about 4 to 5 weeks ago, I was very into the financials and making sure the back end was all set up. And now the past 5 weeks, I've been focusing on the community and bringing on members. And we are in pre-sale right now. And I want to tell you, we are straight killing it. And it feels so good to bring on people that are really in their true essence and what they are really good about, what they are really truly good at, and what they truly do love. And over this process, over the past month and a half, I really have started to realize what people actually meant when they said hire people in their zone of genius, and you can't do it yourself. I guess before I started a franchise, I just didn't know how to grow a business. And that was the main reason why I started a franchise. Before, when I was an entrepreneur on social media, I was doing my podcast, which obviously I still am. But I did not know how to grow it. I didn't. And yes, on social media, you have all these people being like, oh, I can help you with the back end. Let's grow all the things in the back end. But I was like, but what does that mean for me? And what is my end game? I just did not have an end game. And with the franchise, as if you have been listening to the podcast, you do know that I'm retired city fire from a city that was rated in the top 5 homicides per capita in the United States. So I am one crazy mofo, trauma shootings, live structure fires. Gosh, on a weekly basis. And I think that's what truly makes me really good at business, is the fact that I am doing a million things, or at least in my old city, I was doing a million things all the time. And I never had, what was that saying they said about firefighters? Like, well, first we had like a million toolboxes of like things that we can do. And we were never an expert in one field. We just knew a lot of things about a lot of things. And that's how I feel like business is. And I hire the experts that do. So like saying if I was on a call that was a low angle rescue. Well, I was just going to name drop, but we're going to leave that name aside. We would go to this certain individual because he was really gnarly at rope rescue. And if there was like a wildland call, everyone would look at me because I also worked for the Forest Service before I was on a city crew. So I worked on a hotshot crew, which you probably don't know anything about, but they're gnarly ass mofos. That's my PC version of saying that. But today we're going to get into the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, because just because I'm in an up right now does not mean that 5 weeks ago I was in a gnarly down and I was like, what in the hell have I done with my life? I talked to and also joining a franchise, you get not only that mentorship, I get on the phone with the president of my company at least on a bi-weekly basis being like, what the F happened? I need your support. Talk to me. And he has 500 other owners, and he makes sure that if you need him, he is there. If you're thinking about joining a franchise, I definitely do have a franchise broker. You don't want to just join in for any franchise. You really don't. I got linked with Stretch Lab through my franchise broker and one of my best friends who is going to one. I have psoriatic arthritis, and all the things were not working in my body. And I was going to physical therapy, acupuncture, chiropractic work, massage therapy. Nothing was getting into my joints. What Stretch Lab does. So that was the main reason why I joined. I have a huge story and a mission behind my franchise. So I just didn't buy one to buy one. Like, I have a passion for this industry. It's a new modality. It's one-on-one assisted stretching. Assisted stretching was only for professional athletes, and now we're bringing it to mainstream, and it is straight killer, and it's fire. And holy moly, everyone in the cities that I'm starting this in are like, why didn't we have this before? What is this? How do I get involved? Like, we've been in pre-sales for 3 weeks, and if I told you the numbers, you would be like, you're killing it. So that's why I'm on a huge up, because I hired a gnarly sales associate, or the general manager, who is straight killing it. Same with my fitness professionals, they're straight killing it. But yes, 5 weeks ago, I was on a definite down, and it's like, what do you do on those times that you're in this huge down? And I have one of my really good friends. Another awesome aspect of a franchise is you meet really awesome people that are doing the same business as you. So if you have an issue with somebody, you always can talk to somebody that is above you, that has been through the process already. You shoot out a message through maybe like one of our social media leagues being like, hey, I'm dealing with this. Have you dealt with this before? And you always find an owner that's like, dealt with this. This is what I did. So there's a lot of strategy that you can do with a lot of other people. So it's mentorship 101, and it feels so good. I've talked to so many other business owners being like, before I had any issues, like, okay, what was your huge down? How would have you done it differently? What would you have done before getting into this? So what do you do on those downs? You reach out to mentors. 100%. If I didn't have mentors, I wouldn't, no way in hell would I have been in this situation right now without talking to people that have been in, that are really gnarly at business. And that being said, if you're not in a franchise, it's just like, whatever, just get those business mentors that have built businesses as well. Find a mentor that has done what you want to do. That is the key to success. At least it has been the key to success for me. Those people that can help you do the things that you want to do, that lead you through the processes that they have done, or that they are professional and really good at themselves. That was a main key, that I'm like, if I couldn't talk to people on my downs, like when those days that I'm bawling, that I'm like, holy moly, I don't know why I did this. Like, I can't do this. They're like, no, actually, this is just a bad week, a bad hour, a bad day, a bad week. Another thing that I do on my downs, and I told one of my good friends, Gretchen, this, who owns a number of stretch ups as well. She was like, I can't do this. I've been crying all day long. And I'm like, bitch, please. Yes, you can. You're one badass mother effer. Yeah, I think really being able to reach out to those people, right? Because she was having a really bad week and she reached out to me. Give yourself a time limit. If it's an hour, if it's 5 hours, if it's a full day, If it's a really challenging situation, maybe 2 days. But that's the thing. Like, do you want to dwell on something for 2 days? Or do you actually want to just take action? I usually only give myself an hour to be pissed, to cry, to be aggro about something. I usually just cry these days. I used to get aggro, but no, it's just like, but that's the thing. Whatever, cry it out, get upset, get pissed, get sad, and then do something about it. Because that's what the best business owners do is they see a situation, they see a life experience, something that is a learning lesson, and then they just get through it. I mean, we're all running into issues all the time as business owners, and the best ones are able to just simply look at it, be like, okay, how do we get through this? How do we get over it? And when you're able to take a step back from a shitty situation and be like, holy hell, that just happened to me. What in the hell do I do? That's what makes the best business owner, the ones that can look at a situation and be like, okay, reassess. I'm always reassessing before I really get into something that's really not that great. Like I was on a phone call with my pre-sales with corporate, and I was like, I need to hire more flexes. Like it's just not happening right now. And she's like, okay, well, how do we do that? Like, what are your means of doing that right now? And I told her what I was doing. And she was like, okay, well, look over here on this side. So get ahead of the game. And since I started focusing on hiring more fitness professionals, guess what? I hired 3 more because they were all super badass. What you focus on is what is going to grow and what is going to actually happen. What does Tony Robbins say? Where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're having anxiety about something, really lean into it. I've noticed that that's something that I must do. Is that if I'm like, oh God, oh my Lord, I'm freaking out about that. It's like, okay, stop freaking out. That's obviously something that you need to work on, or you get to work on, because you don't need to do anything. I did not need to start this business. I wanted, and I thought I must push myself to do this because this modality helped me so much in my body. And I knew for a fact that I needed, and I must bring this business to as many people as I could possibly. Stretched me a hell of a lot because I did not just, let's just say this is going to be a pretty long building process for me. And it feels so, so good seeing the people that are joining the location that I have started because of the fact that I knew what it did to me. So those things that you can do when you are on a down is find a mentor, talk to people that have the same like-minded business mindset as you, the ones that are building the same business as you. That might be different than a mentor because the mentor is above you. And also just giving yourself a time limit on that down and just ride those ups. I mean, right now I'm on an up, but I also do know that everything doesn't last forever. And I truly do. Another thing that I do on my down is try to focus on those positive things. I know it was really challenging for me to really try to focus on those positive things when I was on a down, because if I told you what happened in my down, you would be like, oh wow. But hey, guess what? Got through it. And if you are in a down right now, give yourself some time, step back from the situation so that you give yourself some thinking time so that you know what to do next. If you're just on a constant grind on a down, you're never going to be able to step back to reassess to get those final answers. So on that, if you are on a down, take some time to yourself, start journaling, go for a nice long hike, a long walk, start just being able to step back and reassess what you're doing, because that is what's going to get you out of your down. And just knowing that you're in a down, and it's not always going to stay that way. I mean, when I retired from City Fire, I don't want to say it was like 5 years of a down, but it was almost. Maybe it was four, maybe 5 is a little bit of an exaggeration, but 4 years, that's a long down. I was like kind of up and down, but not really. It was mostly down. So anyways, other than that, gonna leave you on that note. 5 years of a down. But The up feels so good. So on that, love, I would absolutely love for you to share this with a friend. If you know any business friends that are growing through the entrepreneurship journey, share this with a friend. It would mean the world to me because I know that I couldn't do this by myself. I bring on guests on a bi-weekly basis that bring their own inspiration and own insight on what they are doing with business and how they how they grew through their downs and what they would have done differently. And I know for a fact that is what has helped me through business is making sure that I'm always constantly listening to podcasts, audiobooks, reading so that I'm able to be ahead of the game and look out for those red flags. So on that, love, hopefully you have a good rest of your day and always stay confident. I hope you are so excited about where you're going because I know I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for listening in today. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared it with a girlfriend or posted it on social media. Tag me so I could personally say thank you. I am so grateful. And until next time,